What's good, YouTubers? NeoNexudus here, bringing you a deck profile. This is my quote-unquote Draco-Pals deck for the April 2016 format. Now, I've gone down the dark route with this deck. It seems to be testing the most consistent. I had an idea in mind which involved Rescue Hamster, and going Ariadnes and counter traps and things like that, but it seemed far too defensive. And whilst the counter traps were nice, and there were some pretty unique combos with the likes of Rescue Hamster, I find this deck is a lot more combolicious. You get more of your resources to your hand like you would last time, and you just get to make more plays. Now, obviously, the Banlist did smash this deck pretty damn hard, so keep in mind that this is probably not the most optimal build, but it's what I've got for now. So, moving on to the monsters, we have our one and only Skullcrabat Joker, just the one, searches out pretty much the entire deck. Got one Monkey Board to search very much most of the deck. Playing two Geese Turtles still, and two Lizard Dogs, because I think 2 and 2 is still the best number. I've had some people say run 3 and 3, because obviously Wavering Eyes is no longer a thing. But I think it's too cloggy. Then we're running Triple Pendulum Sorcerer. Thank God this card didn't get hit, but I expected to get hit next list, because the card is just going to completely obliterate until this deck doesn't even exist anymore. 2 Silverclaw. Silverclaw's actually become a bit more prevalent, being a dark and everything. I'm running the 1 Part Naga. I'm running more Performer Powers in this deck list, and Part Naga was part of my previous, but I've actually cut the Turn Toad now. Turn Toad just wasn't working out, but Part Naga, the tap point boost is pretty good. And we've got our Draco Slayers, still the 1 Luster. I'm still keeping the ratio of 3 Master and 3 Vector. 3 Vector because it's the dark build, and 3 Master because it's a level 4, it's a slow scale, it just does a lot with the deck. You don't need to run 3 and 3, but I still like running 3 and 3. Yes, you can't cycle through them as fast as you would with Draco Face-Off and such, but 3 and 3 seems to be working out for me. Still the 2 Archfiend-centric because Domain's a bitch. Then we got 3 Performer Pal, second Donkey. Now, some of you remember I was running this in one of my previous lists, and then I took it out because it just wasn't working. With all the consistency hits we've had, second Donkey actually isn't that bad now, especially in the dark build. And I'll get to the key points of that later. Another reason why I wanted to keep the 3-3 ratio is so that I've constantly got scales in my hand, so even if they are both low scales, I can still normal summon a Donkey, search a Joker, or search a Monkey Board, search a Geese Turtle. Yeah, I can just search that high scale. The 1 Muscaminion is back in the build. I'm not sure for how long though. His immune testing hasn't been the best. I use him to get into Ignister faster. He's a searchable tuner. You can bring one of your Draco Slayer or Draco Overlord back from the graveyard. The vanillas, because they've both got 0 defense. But yeah, and he's there for another level 8 Synchro I've got in the extra deck. But like I said, he's not brilliant at the moment, so you may come out for something else. For the dark build, we're running only 2 Armageddon Knight because I feel you only really need 2. The 3 is usually too much. And then 1 Shadow Dragon and 1 Zephyros the Elite. That rounds up the monsters. Zephyros bounces back your shit. Shadow Dragon pops spells and traps. Nice main deck out to Domain, like the Archfiend-Eccentrics. And the targets of Armageddon Knight to send to the graveyard, as well as Vector himself, if by god-awful chance you draw into your 2 targets before you actually get to send them to the graveyard. Moving on to the spells, we've got the 1 Lonely Instant Fusion. I decided to cut the second Instant Fusion, and I'm not running 3 because there's just no point. We've got 1 Norden. I'm only running Norden. I'm not running Thousand Eyes Restrict. It does absolutely nothing for this deck. It really doesn't. Yes, absorbing a problem monster is cool and everything, but you can only attack with Thousand Eyes Restrict, and I believe under the card text of Instant Fusion it says cannot attack. Special summon monster by this effect cannot attack and is destroyed during the end phase. So Thousand Eyes really doesn't do anything apart from absorb a monster and then have to wait for the end phase for it to die, because I can't attack with any other monsters apart from Thousand Eyes. Thousand Eyes would actually hurt this deck, because the object is to like pendulum something like crazy and then smack with a bunch of different monsters. So just the one instant fusion for the one Odin. Our one lonely Draco face off. Sad to see it go to one. Honestly, I don't think this card was all the problems that people said it was. Yes, it was a powerful card, but it was also a very consistent card for the deck. And if they were just going to hit Ignister anyway, then Draco Face Off really didn't need to go to one if they were only going to have the one Ignister. So, I'm playing the one Rotor, which acts like our third Armageddon Knight to get us to our Armageddon Knight. I'm playing one Painful Decision to dump our vanilla monsters to the graveyard and to set up for things like Dinoster, etc. And then because this is the Dark build, I'm running two Allure of Darkness. Yes, they're common. Get over it. I don't own two Hollows. Plus, like, there's a good portion of this deck that's common anyway. So, like, Allure of Darkness, we got two Armageddon Knights. We got Shadow Dragon. We got Zephyros. We got 3 Vectors. And we got 2 Silver Claws. So that's a total of 7 Darks. So yeah, with a total of like 7 Darks, we've got plenty of targets, considering that we're pretty much going to like rotor for our Armageddon Knight, and we can search out like Silver Claw of Pendulum Sorcerer, and the amount of deck thinning and drawing we do in this deck, it's really easy just to use the Allure of Darkness. So that's a nice bit of consistency power. And then our final spell of the deck, 3 Pendulum Rising. What this card does, in case you haven't been paying attention, is basically you send one monster on your side of the field to the graveyard, and then you special summon from your deck one Pendulum monster with the same level as the sent monster. Now, obviously, Pendulum monsters cannot be sent to the graveyard via game mechanics. They literally just cannot go to the graveyard unless they're being detached by materials or something like that. So, it literally has to be a non-Pendulum monster, so you send Shadow Dragon, Zephyros, you send Masked Chameleon, you send your Armageddon Knights, you know, you send your second Donkey. So we've got 3 second Donkey, we've got 2 Armageddon Knights, we've got a Shadow Dragon, a Zephyros, and a Masked Chameleon. That's 8 targets for this card, and it's, you know, you're pretty much always going to have this card live. So yeah, that's our 3 final spells. It allows us to make plays into our Pendulum Sorcerer, etc., and just carry on going for combos. And then we're only playing 2 traps. We're playing 1 Treacherous and 1 Bottomless for the Rafflesia targets. One thing I didn't like about the counter trap build is I couldn't run Rafflesia because I was already running like so many counter traps, so I wasn't able to make any room for trap holes, and it gave me. I just really like making first turn Rafflesia. It's one of my favourite moves to do. Especially when you can just send Treacherous straight off the cuff and blow up 2 of their monsters. If they get effects, they get effects. But, you know, it's just preventing them from advancing that turn. It's a pretty good card. I like Treacherous Trap Hole with Rafflesia, and then the Bottomless, obviously, is good against pretty much everything at the moment. So, that's it for our spells, traps, and monsters. Moving on to the extra deck. We have the 1 Odin. So lonely. 2 Dinoster. Still only 2. I really don't like the idea of 3. 2 is plenty in my opinion. The option for a third doesn't even really come up that much now that we've only got Ignister to 1. Speaking of Ignister, there he is, Lonely Bloke. The other level 8 I'm running is Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. It's non-targeting destruction that burns for damage as well. So it's pretty cool. It is a board clearer. And it's on 3k attack. So it's pretty cool. And then, as mentioned, Rafflesia, because Rafflesia is a really good card. Nightmare. Been running Nightmare even with 5 targets, but now we've got even more dark targets. It just makes more sense. Good versus BA and other things, and it's just a really nice card in my opinion. We got the 1 Abyss Dweller, Obese Dweller, for BA, Mermail, blah 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 blah. Emerald is quite important now to recycle that 1 Ignister, and obviously your other limited cards and such likes to make more plays. Plus it can spread some of your Veners from the graveyard. Still with the 2 Magister Paladin. Great combos for this card. Obviously now somewhat limited now that Ignis is at 1. The Ignister to 1 I think hurts this deck more than anything else. 1 Diamond Direwolf because I'm running Norden, and Norden plus a level 4 to Diamond Direwolf to pop their back row. You know, just plays like that. 1 Castell. Honestly been thinking about bumping it up to 3 now that we've only got the 1 but not bumping it up to 3, that'd be too much. Bumping it up to 2 rather, since we've now only got the 1 Ignister. We've got the 1/106 Giant Hand, because Giant Hand is really boss against Monarchs, and 1 King of the Feral Imps to get you into your combo pieces like your Lizard Draw, your Musk Chameleon, etc. 1 card that I've been contemplating on playing is this card. It is Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Now, it's a 3k beat stick. Essentially, what it does is that it takes 1 Dark Dragon and 1 Beast type monster, and when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to inflict damage to the opponent equal to the original attack of the Beast monster used for this card's quote-unquote fusion summon. So if you use Silverclaw, that's an extra 18 damage on top of the battle damage. If you use Second Donkey, that's, what, another 1,000? So I've seriously been contemplating this card because obviously you can contact fuse with Magister. And now this gives you a way to sort of contact fuse with your Vector and soon enough Rector. Or as it's been renamed, Reactor Pendulum, which is really stupid. So the Dark Dragons, and we run like 5 beast targets. So I was just really contemplating this card, and I think I might run it over the Scarlight and take out the Mask Chameleon for something else. I don't know. It's worth further testing, but this card's definitely very interesting. Okay, onto the side deck. Side deck really hasn't changed that much. We've got the 2 Denko Wrecker, for shutting down counter traps really, so we can get our safe Pendulum summon off. Running 2 Ghost Ogies because blowing up shit is still really important. Maxie's back in the side now, no real room for him in the main. Running double MST, more destruction, get rid of domain, etc. 2 system downs for Cosmo, because we hate the big ships. Soul Drain for any graveyard-based decks, even works against Cosmo as well. 2 Iron Wall for Monarchs and Cosmo. And Infernos. And 2 Master Restricts for Monarchs. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. That's my Dark Draco-Pals deck profile. Let me know what you think, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time. This is NeoNexudus signing out. Peace.